many ways of communicating already besides that, just through being flirtatious and just being kind of weird and crafty. And, you know, we both get along very well in that sense. And so these things were just so easy. Stories were a part of it. I'll go ahead and admit that to you. But we just knew how it worked. That was just a part of all of it. But we just knew how our language worked. And so we were able to communicate this whole entire time. It just turned into a more serious way of communication. And I'm here because of it. So through this method, I end up here. Now, over all these years, I have been talked up on this place. I mean, well, you can see it. I'm at the top of a hill. It's rainy and gross right now, and this place is overrun because it's a farm. And so it's a mess. And everything grows right now in the wintertime because it's, well, you can see why. And so it's beautiful around here. And I've been talked up on this place because he wants to stay here. And so I thought that he was going to be working on doing what I did, because that was the insinuation of, that's the reason I'm here, because we were going to be together. It has not worked out, obviously. And now I get here and I'm accused. Well, let me back up. So that was November. I take the time between November and June of us not directly communicating, but communicating in all the different ways otherwise. And we had developed it so well that it was just part of our journey, and we got really good at it. But I spent that time getting my house ready. I got my daughter in college and began to separate our house, and we sold it in June. And through this process, I was alone for most of it. I packed up a huge house by myself for most of it, and at the same time was getting prepared to do something. And he wanted to be with me. And so instead of taking the time to wait it out in Georgia, I went on an adventure with my dog because we sold the house. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't want to put a lease on an apartment, and I didn't want to live in an apartment, and I didn't want to rent a house and be stuck in that and have to buy furniture and everything, because I wanted to come out here and be with my man, the one I was in love with, because that's what he wanted too. And so I started to make that effort. I was not trying to come out here and move into her house, into his house, into anyone's house. I was just going to come out here and wait it out until he was able to do his thing. I knew it was going to be a more difficult process for him. I never pressured him at all. And so all I was doing was just making things easier and going on an adventure at the same time, which is what I got in the car. I packed up everything into a storage unit, left with my dog in tow, and we went to Colorado first because that's where Red Rocks was happening. And so that's what we did. Went to Red Rocks. And the message was still strong, but things had happened already where he was letting me know that it wasn't going as well as he had hoped on the home front. Why couldn't he get out of this marriage? I can't understand. It wasn't financial. He was letting me know it wasn't financial. And so it was something. So after Red Rocks, I got COVID and came on to California after a few days of being sick because it wasn't that bad. And I arrived. Actually, I might have that date wrong because I think that I checked into the Airbnb on that day. Anyway, it's been a while, so I can't remember. Anyway, I show up, and I had gotten the information wrong between our weird communication and ended up in his driveway thinking that's what he wanted me to do. Well, that wasn't the case. Because here comes his wife and dogs. And I about shit myself. So I backed up and got the fuck out of there because that's not what I wanted to do. Not what I meant to do. And I started to freak out. And it's all documented. I was freaking out. She had control of his messages as far as I'm aware. Now that might be wrong. But as far as I'm aware, it was not him. I was arguing with her. And so this is where it all gets really crazy. Well, nothing happened then. That was July. There was no restraining orders or anything like that then. Nothing. We kept up this communication between us as I shuffled between Airbnbs. I started off on Howell Mountain up in Napa Valley. I was there for a month in a cottage. It was too small. I moved into an apartment that was really nice in the town of Napa, and that's where I stayed for 2 months. And there's not a lot around here for furnished rentals, and so Airbnb is about the best thing you can get. And so that I needed a place that had a single unit with a yard so that my dog could run around in a fenced place and not disturb others like I'm going to have to do today and leave her barking. So I end up in this Airbnb here in Sebastopol, California. Was I looking in Sebastopol, California, where this man and his wife live? No. I was looking in the entire area that wasn't that far north of San Francisco because I needed the airport, which I was hoping to have because I thought I would still be doing things. I thought I would still be having a life through all this, and I haven't. And so I end up here in Sebastopol, which apparently now I'm being accused of trying to get as close as possible when I am not. I just happened to find a place that was affordable-ish and had a big damn yard, which you can see goes on forever and is gorgeous. So I stayed here ever since, but now I'm being accused of being a stalker by his. According to the temporary restraining order that I got put on me in December, because now I don't know why. Now I'm wondering what happened. Now I'm getting curious as to what really went on and who's in charge, who's in control of what, and what happened. But in the meantime, this communication of ours had to stop, kinda, I guess, because of this restraining order. But since we're not really doing anything and not really, it's not even indirectly communicating. It's basically him saying things in plain view and me seeing it. And if nobody else can see it, that's because they don't know who he is everywhere. And so that's what I did. But he mentioned to me in this that she came here and according to this communication, she sneaked into the fence, in through the gate, looked through a window where I was laying alone on the day that I was supposed to have gone to New Year's Eve in Nashville, that I lost my tickets to, by the way, forfeited those because I didn't sell them in time. I couldn't. And so I was stuck. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was left alone. After everything I'd been through, I was left not being able to go. Because she had put this restraining order on me because I was tricked somehow into going down that stupid driveway again, thinking he wanted me to be there. I'm not sure what happened. But as soon as I heard her voice, I immediately backed up and got the fuck out of there. Because I didn't want to be there. And now that's being used against me because now, because of that, a restraining order was put on me as if I was being a menace. And I'd hardly even left this yard. I've hardly left this. I haven't been able to go anywhere because my dog has separation anxiety, which I'm freaking out about today, leaving her. Everybody knows about that. My friends know. I had to pay $2,500 to get training. It didn't work. Nothing's worked. I've had a really rough time here. And I'm I just want to leave now. And so I'm having to wait for this court date that I didn't even do anything to get. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't hurt anybody. I never would hurt anybody. I just want to get the hell out of here. But today, I'm being forced to go and deal with this, and I don't know if he's going to be there or not. He's the one that put the court order on me, so I'm not sure. All I know is I'm being left to deal with this on my own. And so after today, I'm not going to anymore. I'm really done with all this, and I'm sorry, but my whole life has been taken away from me, and I don't know who's in charge, and I don't know why, and I don't know what they're doing. But all I know is that she apparently sneaked in, and I know this only because the communication he sent in plain view stated exactly what she saw. And she's holding it against me from what his accusations in plain view are saying, which means he's aware of a very serious crime if that's the case. If I am right in this, which I might not be, because Lord knows I've gotten things wrong before, but what he described was extremely accurate. Ish. Kinda. But what he saw, which he saw. So the restraining order says I can talk about it right now, as it's temporary, and that part was marked out. And the reason I'm speaking out now is because at 1:30 today, Pacific time, I might not be able to have this ability to say my story. Right now I can. And so I am. Because I've been devastated. My life has been fucking devastated. And I don't know what caused it or who caused it or what the whole deal is. But I know that this woman has a video of me. As far as he's let me know. And I don't really care either about that. But things are being used against me. And I just want everyone to know that I'm so sorry that all this has happened. And I don't want to be in it anymore. I really just am. But the love was real. I know it because it's been so long and we've gone through so much. And I don't know what's happening, but I can't be manipulated by anyone anymore. And I'm not going to be. I don't have anything left. I have my friendships, and thank God these people are being so good to me. But the rest of this sucks. I've never been treated so horribly in my life. I've been punished for things that I've not done. All I did was be in love and try to follow that. Thankfully, I'm not broke. I have enough money to go where I need to go to get away from here. That's all I want to do is get away from all of this. I've had to wait until today, but I need to make this story because I might not get another chance. But I do love him. And I'm sorry that this is all happening right before everyone goes on their trip, and I wanted to go too. I wanted to go with my friends. I don't have anyone left. But she's happily ruined my life, and he's letting her, and so there's nothing else I can do. But I'm sorry that I'm having to do all this before, and I'm tarnishing everyone's good time, and I don't want to be that person. I just don't have a choice but to do this right now. I have to put up my story before I'm not allowed to, because I don't know that I'm not going to go there today. And I'm sorry for my voice, and I'm sorry for the crying. But I don't want to go there today and face this. And it be worse, and I'm being on my own and then not have any way to say anything. So I'm saying it now. I love you all.